classes and the career path, the career opportunities that you see.
Sure.
I'm going to touch on the career opportunities just
Okay.
with the career fairs and the
Yeah.
networking that comes with that. So when I used to think about career fairs, and I went to a few before starting taking classes with the FinTech Academy, my goal was, okay, I need to talk to this person and that person and see what internships and what job opportunities, and I had basically like a very narrow point of view with that. After taking some of the courses and going to some of the events, I'm not going to say career fairs, I'm going to say more events that the FinTech Academy has. You learn how to network, and it's not just about, okay, what can you do for me? It's what I can learn from you. You have these conversations,
Yeah.
starting exploring what I'm interested in FinTech, and is that the career path that I want to take, or am I interested in something else, which led me to changing my major. It led me to, you know what, I'm really interested in, data. I'm really interested in how to leverage data. That's where my interests lie, and that all came with the networking experiences that I've had with the events that have been set up by the FinTech Academy. So I'm really grateful for that. I feel like it's shaping my career.
For sure.
And it's not like, oh, you know what, I'm gonna get a job because I met this person, a couple months ago. I'm no longer thinking in that way. I'm thinking in the way that
so nice.
that this is, I want to see how I can shape my career in terms of my interests and my passions, and just talking to, these industry leaders and these people who are veterans in their field. I really feel like it's been so valuable to me.
That's a really good point. I love that you said that. I've had that, but I haven't been able to put into words because sometimes when you're in college, I feel like, and we can all resonate, you have this pressure of do well academically, but also put yourself out there and start to get that job, make sure you secure it. So it's almost like it takes you into this mentality of me, and to your point, what can you do for me? As soon as you meet somebody in the field, you're like, hi, can I get a job? Can I get an internship?
It's so embarrassing.
Versus now it's more so I know that I'm gonna get there, that's a for sure thing, but where am I gonna fit within the umbrella of FinTech? There's so many different avenues it can go, and so to your point, a lot of the events, because they focus on certain topics, sometimes we'll have cybersecurity come in and give kind of their vantage point, or risk management will come in. So it exposes you to what parts of the business unit can I fit into within FinTech. So that's a really good point as far as the job part. The FinTech Academy also does a fantastic job of just exposing us to internship programs.
Very true. Yeah.
And jobs also. So I used to hear the term it's all about who you know, but now it's more so about who knows you. So when your name is out there, who knows you, who can speak to, for example, Jules. If you just apply somewhere, can somebody say oh, you know what, she took a lot of courses, she's really engaged, she knows what she's talking about, let's bring her on. And then on top of that, you also have some of the projects that really complement what we're learning in classes. So I don't know about you guys, but I was partnered up with FIS Global, and we kind of touched on the fact that everything is so digitized now with financial services and everything. Just about everybody has a smartphone, but not everyone is included in a lot of financial services products. And so for us, it was kind of looking out there and saying, okay, well, what's, to your point, what are some of the friction points or some of the pain points that some of these individuals that are underbanked or unbanked, what are they experiencing? Why are they experiencing that? And what can we propose to solve it? So I kind of took that point of view of, you're new to the country, you have no credit history, and that is almost a huge hurdle to go through to be able to do the rest of the things, to get the bank account, to get the credit card, to rent the apartment, to get a mortgage. So we really went out there and just talked to people, honestly, and these people that are going through the pain points. And then we found out about that one company, which I'll give you the name later, that is putting in that initiative to kind of bridge the gap between credit histories between countries. But we really focused in on education, so not just throwing a solution out there to them, but making it familiar. So maybe it's in your language from your home country.
That's so important.
Yeah,
talk to me in a language that I can understand.
That you understand.
Exactly.
Right, and then also, because I feel the more it resonates with people, the more personal it is. the more you're able to trust it, particularly for those that are coming into a brand new country, and you don't know. Like, you may know a little bit of what's going on financial services wise, but you don't know all of it.
Yeah.
And so how do you introduce that, right? How do you bridge the gap? Because someone from Belize, maybe they don't know anything. And maybe
Yeah.
somebody from Nigeria is like, hey, I know a little bit of stuff. Like, you know, I'm up with the terminology. And
Yeah.
so we really focus on how can we create an app or some type of solution that would be individualized. So like you log in there and you answer a couple questions just to kind of gauge where you're at, and then we would start the education portion based on where your knowledge level is at.
That's nice.
Before we like just threw products at you,
Yeah.
it was like, hey, sign up for this
Yeah.
or whatever. You know, trying to understand the individual first, and then being able to kind of bridge the gap into products that might help them enter the industry.
FinTech's actually made me completely like transition in my path, my career path. So currently, I'm at an accounting firm, and I just deal with taxes. That's what I do: deal with taxes and governmental entities. But we also it's a really big firm, so we have a wealth advisory branch also, and within that wealth advisory branch, they have another separate branch of that just goes directly to underprivileged communities, and like just making sure everyone understands, hey, these are the services that are available, we can help you. So they have like $1 million allotment just for going to, they do one every year, so I'm doing the summer one from our branch. And that change came from one of our FinTech events with Intercontinental Exchange. And they were talking about how the New York Stock Exchange is actually owned by Intercontinental, which is headquartered in Atlanta. So
Atlanta.
technically,
Yes.
New York Stock Exchange is in Atlanta.
Yeah.
And when they're talking about that, they also talk about all the other things they're doing in the FinTech space, as far as mortgages and stuff, things like that. And that's one of the things that they actually teach in this wealth advisory branch that I'm going to be moving to in this summer. And honestly, I wanted to be a broker at first, but now like I can see how many people I can actually help. And now that I've learned more about FinTech and the way it helps, that's where it's completely changed my direction in my career path.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a really good